Welcome to Two Dudes in a Review. I'm Luke.
And I'm Matt.
Alright guys, March MadNick. Here we are working on our right side of the bracket now. We went through, we got our 80's champion, Vampire's Kiss. We got our 2000s champion, National Treasure. Now we're going to take it back a decade, go to the 90's. Our first matchup, we got Leaving Las Vegas versus Con Air.
Leaving Las Vegas is about a guy who recently went through a divorce and then falls into alcoholism, loses his job, all that shenanigans, and then moves out to Las Vegas with the goal to drink himself to death. And once he gets there, he falls in love with a prostitute. And the rest of the movie just kind of follows their love story.
That is going up against Con Air. It's an action movie, and Nicolas Cage, he is a Army Ranger. He gets into a bar fight outside of a bar. Imagine that. And he accidentally kills a man, and because of that, he gets sentenced 6 years into prison. And then when we pick up with him again, he's getting to his parole date, and he's going onto a plane with a bunch of really bad criminals. There's a man on there called Cyrus the Virus. He's made this big elaborate plan to take over the plane, so they do that. And so the convicts have control of it. Nicolas Cage tries helping out, regaining the control of the plane, and helping his friend get out of there alive. Alright, so let's start with the man himself, Nicolas Cage. Which one did he do better in?
Well, he won an Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas, right?
Yes, he did. But
and that's his only Oscar win, right?
Yes, but really, what's an Oscar? That's all political, in my opinion.
And Con Air, he does have some pretty sweet one-liners.
He does. Typical 90's, just one-liners after one-liners.
That was one of the main problems I had with the movie, actually, was just super unrealistic lines where people are just like trying to be big macho men, and it's like no one would ever say that, and most of them are just goofy anyways. I thought that part of the script was cheesy screenwriting, I guess.
Nicolas Cage, he does take a shot right to the arm though. Just still punches the guy in the face. That's pretty badass.
Oh, when he's running down the plane.
Yeah.
He's in a rage.
That's pretty awesome. And does kill a couple people, so
but I
should get a couple points.
I do have to disagree with what is an Oscar, though.
He did actually hire an actual alcoholic to be on set and just watch him the whole entire time while filming.
Really?
That's dedication to the craft.
Would the guy just be drinking on set the whole time?
Yeah, and actually in the one bar, when he's talking about, you don't kick the bar, you lean on the bar, he stole that as a direct quote from the drunk guy he hired.
While he was on set?
Yeah, I forget the guy's name, but
wow, what a
real
job.
Drunk guy. Yeah.
Professional
that's
drunk
living.
guy. Yeah, that's
being
not bad.
drunk and have it Nick Cage watch you.
So, which one did you enjoy more? Like, your experience, your movie watching experience?
I would say Con Air, just because it had the action. And for Leaving Las Vegas, all that really happens is he gets drunk and him and the prostitute kind of just argue about different things.
Yeah, they go back and forth whether they like each other or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, Con Air is just like your typical big budget 90's explosion action movie. It is entertaining from start to finish.
If it was maybe 30 minutes shorter, it would be much better also, because once the plane crashes in Las Vegas, they go on another chase.
Yeah.
And that just felt a little drawn out.
Yep.
To get that far ahead. So I feel like a point for Con Air then?
Yeah. Finally, what do you think is the better movie?
I feel like it's going to have to go to Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because with Con Air, the problem with it is the whole reason why he's in this situation is for killing a guy who's trying to kill him with a knife.
Self-defense.
And then he gets 7 years for that.
Yeah.
Or 6 years.
That probably just wouldn't happen.
I feel like you wouldn't get 6 years for that. And then also, why would they put a parolee on a plane with some of the most dangerous criminals in the institution at that time?
A serial killer.
Multiple serial killers.
Yeah.
A rapist who's convicted of 23 actually did 600.
Oh my. I don't remember.
That's a lot of rapes.
Yeah, I agree. Leaving Las Vegas is definitely the better movie, I would say.
So that's 2-1. Leaving Las Vegas moves on. Our next matchup here in the 90s is Face Off versus Wild at Heart. Face Off is about Nicolas Cage, who plays a terrorist called Castor Troy. And at the very beginning of the movie, he gets into a matchup with a FBI agent, and he gets knocked out, put into a coma. And then, in order to obtain information about a potential bombing taking place, the FBI agent gets his face transplanted so he looks like the terrorist, and he infiltrates a prison to try to gain more information on the potential bombing. And the terrorist eventually wakes up from his coma, and he then gets a face transplant and looks like the FBI agent. So then the FBI agent in the terrorist's body has to find a way to break out of prison and to get his life back and switch faces back with the actual terrorist.
And that's going up against Wild at Heart, which is about Nicolas Cage, who is arrested after murdering someone who also is trying to murder him. And
I like Con Air.
Yeah, and he gets less time, even though this was a much more uncalled for and brutal kill. And then years go by, and he's released from prison, and he goes back to his ex-girlfriend, his girlfriend that is waiting for him once he gets out. And the two of them skip town. His girlfriend's mother starts tracking him. She hires 2 different agents to track and kill him to get the daughter back. And on their adventure to California, they run into some interesting characters. Eventually, Nick Cage has to decide whether this life with his girlfriend is what he actually wanted.
So, which one did you have more fun watching?
Dang, this is actually the hardest one for me. I would say Face Off, because like Con Air, it's like a 90s big budget action explosion all the time. Yet it was definitely the better of the two from a movie making standpoint. And I know it's not up against Con Air, but it was just clearly the better of the 2 action movies. More suspenseful, a better plot, and just really kept me engaged, even though it was longer than Con Air.
And then the whole time Wild at Heart was going on, I just wanted it to end. Had a lot more fun watching Face Off just because of all the explosions.
Really?
And
the whole time you wanted Wild at Heart to win?
After the 1 hour mark and Face Off, I was interested the whole entire time. I was interested on how he was going to break out of prison and get his life back.
Yeah, I thought Face Off was really good too. I don't know which movie was better yet, but my thoughts on this is that Face Off, like when I heard the plot, I was like, how are they going to transplant 2 different people's faces and be able to behave like one another and like pull that off? How's the script going to pull that off? And it did it so well that I think that it really makes the whole movie believable. Like the transplant scene was really interesting and believable, and John Travolta's character actually knew Castor Troy's character well enough that he was able to behave like him for the rest of the movie well.
And there still was little quirks and stuff that they did that was offsetting to people around them, but so that made it really good. So we'll give a point for Face Off then in that respect.
Which one did you think Nick Cage was better in?
I would say he was a lot better in Face Off. He was a lot more entertaining and exciting to watch, I would say. He had more character to him.
I think he was better in Wild at Heart. He was like interesting in Face Off, but I think his character was harder in Wild at Heart. I think him and Laura Dern, his girlfriend, actually like carried that movie. I think if those 2 didn't kill it, think about how agonizing that movie could have been to watch.
I will give him this. He has a sick snakeskin jacket in that movie.
It represents his individuality.
And his personal freedom.
Hey, my snakeskin jacket! Thanks, baby! Did I ever tell you that this here jacket represents a symbol of my individuality and my belief in personal freedom?
Which I love that. And he does have killer dance moves.
Uh-huh.
But does he kill anyone?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
He does.
All right. Wild Heart gets a point. We're tied 1-1.
Okay. But the one thing I'll say about Face Off is that the action scenes, did you notice that every single gunshot made an explosion?
Yes, and it was awesome.
No,
I
it
loved
was
it.
not.
I
That
loved
is
it.
not how it
They
works.
had
at all.
incendiary shots.
What's that?
You know, whenever you shoot it, it blows up.
I don't know. But why would FBI agents need that? That first plane scene was insane. Everything was just on fire.
What do you want to have happen?
I don't know. I guess it is what you're looking for, but I don't think that makes it I think it makes it a worse movie, actually. Because it's not as realistic. It distracted me from what it was.
We're cut here. I say we flip a coin. Decide it.
All right. Oh, here's a coin.
All right, I say heads is face off.
Because of the face on it.
Exactly. Tails is wild at heart.
Because of the snake. Aw, face off.
Yes.
Rats.
Let's go. All right. Face off moves on to face against Leaving Las Vegas. So with Leaving Las Vegas, Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
Face off. Kick-ass action movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a big.
They're
this
so
is,
different.
This is probably my favorite matchup.
They're so different, though. It makes it very hard to match them up against each other.
Yeah, and we have to really think it out because this is for money, this is big time, and this is it. This is for Final Four right
It
here.
is. It is. Really would it impact the people's brackets at home.
Which experience, movie watching?
I had more
experience?
fun watching Face Off just because it was more action-packed, more thrilling,
Yeah.
and it wasn't just watching a drunk guy drink himself to death,
Right.
which is very depressing.
Yeah.
And I didn't really want to do anything after watching it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But I watched 3 more Nicolas Cage movies that day.
It's a much easier movie to watch. Like, the stories makes it a lot easier. Which one do you think Nick Cage did better in?
He didn't win an Oscar for Face Off, right?
No.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
think so.
Also,
I didn't think so.
This is, in my opinion, his best role in the whole 16.
For
It's out of all 16 movies. I
which
think.
movie?
Leaving Las Vegas.
If I said you're dying in 2 hours and you can watch Leaving Las Vegas or Face Off, which movie are you picking?
Face Off. But that we've already covered that. That's the experience of watching it.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Me personally, I would pick Face Off.
All right, I'll let you have it. Face Off was pretty sweet, and it was the most suspenseful of like all the action movies.
You don't watch a movie to see an interesting
This
script.
This is true. Face Off is his. First of all, that's not true.
You don't watch a movie to see an interesting
That's
script.
That's not true at all. Face Off was the
Couldn't think of
best
the right words.
action movie out of all the action movies, and
Yes.
that's a huge part of Nick Cage's
Repertoire.
yeah. So, all right, we'll move it on. Face Off to the Final Four. You've convinced me.
Woo!
All right, guys, come back next week to see the final spot in the Final Four. Right now we got Vampire's Kiss, National Treasure. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
And Face Off. So come back to the next review.
We take on the 2010s. Like, subscribe. See you later.